Hi, design thinkers. This is a quick video to introduce you to using Twitter to build a professional learning network. We're going to use Twitter throughout the course, both as our medium for weekly ed chats, as well as for forum for exhibiting our learning. I use Twitter as a place for me to connect with educators around the globe, follow innovative trends from schools, as well as um, mainstream media that's curated to me through my network into my newsfeed. So, um, why I think it's important for you to use Twitter, first of all, I get at least, um, I don't know, one great idea that impacts my practice every week from connecting to people on Twitter. I also use it as a place to communicate with educators and principals and other people in my broader network, as opposed to text messaging or email. It's through Twitter that I reach out to people one on one that I want to continue to collaborate with, as well as see what they're up to. I think for you, building a professional network is key to your success as a teacher over time. I think it's an opportunity for you to see what each other stay up to in your professional careers. I think it's a chance for you to find schools that inspire you, no matter what your grade team or school situation is like that you're hired into. So I really encourage you to get stuck in, and we're going to model that and build a bit of a network together in this course. Really quickly, what you see on the screen right now is the web browser Twitter look and feel. Essentially, what you have happening in Twitter is you have a news feed that's curated to you based on the people you follow and the things that they retweet. You also have a notifications bar that keeps you up to speed with when people like something, retweet something, or follow you that you're involved in. And then you can also do direct messages with people that you follow closely. This is a way that I often reach out to people that I want to connect with. One thing that is really important to know about Twitter is that everything that you choose to post is public. You can follow anyone. You can go and see what anyone has put out there, even if you don't follow them, for the most part. So that's why Twitter is widely used by politicians to communicate with their stakeholders, with brands. You do get some advertisement in Twitter, but for the most part, the people you choose to follow become the story that you seek. They don't necessarily need to follow you. As a teacher, I use this as a professional space. I don't post public things. I don't post political things. I don't post family things. I post retweet and post and follow people that are mostly related to education, teaching, and learning. And all my posts I think of as putting forward like a portfolio of myself as a professional. You sometimes see people that blur those lines a little bit. As a new teacher, I would certainly advise you to think of it as a place where your parent community could be looking in on what you do, where your future employer, your principal can look in on what you do. And some people can see all of that as scary. It's actually an opportunity to put forward a digital footprint of yourself as a learner, to get engaged with a learning community and to use it strategically to learn, and also to demonstrate who you are as a teacher and a learner. Okay, so really quick, what do I recommend for you for Twitter to get started? First of all, create an account. In your account, you simply put some basic information in a short little clip. I recommend you putting some sort of a profile image, and then from there, it's about following people. As you can see, I've been part of Twitter for quite a long time and have a fairly big list of followers and people I follow, and lots of tweets that I've done over time. But you will get started from scratch. I recommend to get started to click on the people that I follow. So you go to my profile, click on who I follow, and then you can scroll down and start to see who you might want to follow. These won't say following. You'll be able to just start clicking on people. I would say primarily I've sought to try to build a network both within the Alberta educational context and broader. I've sought Indigenous voices. I've sought voices from diverse perspectives, but primarily it's going to be people that are part of Rocky Schools, Calgary Board of Education, and the surrounding Alberta educational network. This is the Chief Superintendent of Calgary Board of Education. This is a teacher at Banded Peak. The list is one that you can go and quickly see. Here's our Associate Dean of Undergraduate Programs, the University of Calgary. So you can quickly start to go through, see who some of these people are, and add people. Similarly, if people are starting to post things you don't like, you can unfollow them. So that's step one, follow some folks. Step two, as you get into your timeline, you can start seeing what people are tweeting. You can start auditing the kinds of things people tweet and consider what sort of what you appreciate about people you follow and what they tweet, and consider how you can contribute. Really key for me is how it is that Twitter embeds other media. So whether it be YouTube videos, this article from the New York Times, Twitter is not just about this small 144 character tweet, but also the links. It kind of pushes you out to the world and gives you a really quick way to see that, from Ted Dintersmith, who's a real philanthropist in the United States, who's driving a lot of educational reform, who wrote a book called What Schools Could Be. I can quickly see what he's thinking about, and I can quickly see if this article is something that I want to click forward on. So get a sense of, you can also embed video in Twitter. I think it's like a 2-minute video. We're going to use that feature later, but certainly image rich, link rich, and then this power of being able to bring other media in is what is important for me about Twitter. But I want you to go through and start auditing things. You can like things. You get things that people who you don't follow necessarily. I don't follow this person, but somebody that I followed liked it, so then I get it into my network. So that's one of the ways that Twitter works. So you can start liking things as a good start, or retweeting them. The difference is kind of nuanced. So liking and retweeting, and then the other thing you can do is replying to people, which allows you to then join into an ongoing discussion. The other thing I want to show you quickly is hashtags. So hashtags are a way to organize a conversation around a certain topic. There's anybody can start a hashtag, anybody can start using and contribute to a hashtag, but because it's sort of like crowdsourced, it starts to take on a character. So this one, hashtag RVSEd, is commonly used by teachers and administrators in Rocky Schools. It's another way to find followers, but also to see what a particular story is that's going on. So I encourage you to find a few hashtags. There's lots for the Calgary board. There's lots for the surrounding areas like Golden Hills, Foothills, Canadian Rockies. I know you guys are based all over Alberta, and there's likely a hashtag that people use to organize their conversation. The ABEd hashtag is a more global one. So hashtags are something you can start seeing how people are using them, and then click in on them, and all of a sudden be into another hashtag and be following a different conversation. So if we click on the ABEd one, we'll then get to see what that conversation's like and whether that's something that I want to connect to. It's a little more political, I find. I don't normally go to the ABEd one, and it's a bit more of a global one. The other thing that we're going to engage in is ed chats. We'll get into that a little more in another video, but Sasked Chat is one I like, for example, and it's both a hashtag that has a network, but then as you can see here, there is this structure of questions and answers. So in a Twitter chat, we have a synchronous time. See where there's a question that's posed. There's a moderator. There's a synchronous time that it gets started. Then that moderator puts forward a question. Let's see if I can find the first question. People introduce themselves usually, but then the structure allows them to reply to the question. So Q1 would be then replied with A1. So Kelly Christopherson replied to that question, and you can start to have a whole conversation with people that you don't necessarily follow, but around a set question at a set time. You can go see this has happened and is over, but we can still see the dialogue and could start to get engaged if we wanted with I think that's what Kelly Christopherson did. He was maybe a little bit late, but if we go down, here's a question: how do you integrate technology into your curriculum? And people start replying to that with an answer, and you get a whole conversation around that particular topic, and all these different people chiming in around that particular topic. And we're going to play with that, but one of the things you could do if you wanted would be to get into a chat. I will put a list of chats that I like on our D2L news item when we get into building our own ed chat. But there's another way for you to connect to educators, get involved, reply, have a purpose to engage with them, and see what you can learn from that discourse, or even from just creeping discourses without directly getting involved. Okay, I said it was going to be a short video. It's turned out to be not that short after all. If you have questions about Twitter or concerned about using it, I understand if you would like to choose an alternative way to engage in these elements of our course, just reach out to me. I will build it for you within the closed classroom spaces that we have access to through D2L in the university for you. My hope is, however, that this course is a bridge between that university space and your professional space that you're moving into moving forward. And so challenging you to move your learning out into public and building a professional network that will extend beyond the time frame of our course is my primary goal. But there's often reasons why people choose to not want to engage in that way, and I fully respect that. So again, this will probably be repeated in a few other places, but if you're not comfortable with the public discourse of Twitter, reach out to me and we'll find a way to create something that will work for you. But for others, we're going to get started building a network together right away in week 1. Talk to you soon.